very nice, very clear sky evening. I need to just bring this fucking little camera everywhere I go. So I went fishing today at this. It's like this reservoir, and they fully stocked it with stuff. So it's not a question that there's fish in there. And I caught like 3 super big catfish. I'm talking pounds. I'm talking 4 pounds. Yay big. I need to. I don't know how to hold on to them though. I don't want to stick. I don't know if you've ever held a big ass fish, but it's freaky to put your thumb in its mouth and like hold it up. I don't know. So I just unhooked him and let him go. That little reservoir though, they've got trout in there. I don't know how large of a fishing demographic there is on these videos, but as I hear, good eating. So if I catch one of those, I might have to bring it back to the house and try my hand at some seafood. Or I guess I wouldn't say seafood, more like, dirty pond food. Close enough. Solid source of protein nonetheless, right? Be it steaks, fish, poultry, chicken, I guess the same shit, eggs, animal products. You're not going to go wrong with those as a source of protein. But getting into what we're actually doing today, fucking arms, I think I just want to wreck them one after the other. I've been doing a lot of like tricep set, bicep set, tricep set, bicep set, back and forth, back and forth. The logic there is, by the time I'm actually done with the whole workout, my whole arm is pumped at the same time, which I like. But then you kind of lose the, you're not giving each muscle its necessary individual attention, right? So this time I'm going to be a little bit more meticulous in a way. So as soon as I walk in and start warming up, triceps have my complete and undivided attention over the course of whatever kind of push downs, rope extensions, machine dips, whatever I end up picking. And then once I feel like they've taken their medicine, then move on to biceps, completely switch gears, which usually I would probably lean towards that method in general. I think it's just the easiest to actually kind of lock in for. Like leg days, it's going to be kind of rare that you catch me do a leg day where I'm constantly changing back and forth between doing quads and hamstrings. I kind of feel like it makes more sense to just hit whatever muscle you're really trying to target, destroy it, and then move on to whatever's next. So triceps first, biceps second, for a reason, and that reason is I kind of like finishing arm day with a bicep pump, and I almost feel like triceps, I might not actually have a real reason. I don't have a real reason that I can explain to you, but whenever I finish my tricep workout, moving into biceps just feels better. I've done a few where I did biceps first and then finished with triceps, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Just feels a little wonky to me. But either way, making good use of my, let's not do any name drops here, my purple and yellow gym membership. So nothing else to discuss. Let's just get started with whatever that first working set is and be well on my way to a skin splitting, sleeve erupting, insert a badass lifting hyperbole arm day. So let's get in there. Let's keep it simple. Just some heavy rope extensions. And I will say this though, there is one thing that I know that I try to kind of, let's say, implement about the rope, and it's that I can't squeeze as hard when my triceps are fully pumped. If you're big, and I guess if you're not like super, if you haven't lifted for a while, you might not notice. But for me, when my triceps are fully pumped, even sitting here, I can't even straighten them out all the way. Like right now, I can completely straighten them full extension. But as they get pumped, they just like, it kind of stops here. So I don't get full use of that bottom range of motion. Then once I'm weaker, I can already barely get it down there anyway. So I'm going to try to start off with the rope and really make use of that squeezing sensation at the bottom. Try to pull the handle apart. That's what I'm thinking anyway. That's very gross. One more. Same style. So I know I'm known to use some kind of, let's just say, body language on these sets. I am trying to chill out a little bit on triceps because it kind of makes, at least for me, like the level of which, I actually achieve failure kind of ambiguous. Because if I'm really pushing and kind of using my chest a little bit and my lats, and it's like, am I really even hitting my triceps? Like, I like a dirty set sometimes, even on push downs. But when I'm doing something like the rope, where the whole point of it is, even though I'm going heavy, to be more of a squeezing burnout set, I'm trying to be a bit more still in my upper body so that it's all triceps doing the work. Now, if I'm doing a really crazy heavy straight bar, I don't mind if I'm a little dirtier with it, just for the sake of having crazy tension on my triceps. But let's see, if I were to condense my mentality, lift responsibly, right? Dear, for every nasty set, do a good controlled one too. No. 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 I need to take a second. These reps might be a little nastier. Yeah. 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 Let's move on. Let's pick a little something. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to change it up. You'll see what I'm thinking in exactly 1 second. Plan now, which I haven't done these for a while. I don't know why not. I like them. It's single hand, underhand, D handle extensions. A little bit more short head biased. Like if your tricep, if it's supposed to be kind of like a little bit of a horseshoe shape, I am going to feel this much more in this smaller part up here. But you're always going to feel your whole tricep. Sometimes just one part a little more than the other. So I'm thinking 5 reps one side, 5 in the other, back and forth style of burnout. I might even drop the weight on the way there, turn it into like a double intensified set. But squeeze hard. Let's make a jump set. Ugh. No. Ugh. 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 I think that's enough of that style. I'm gonna move on to a double arm something or other. But I do like this. This is kind of fun. Usually it's a finisher, but I was thinking since I usually do this as a finisher, I want to try to change it up and throw it right in the middle. It's just shock the triceps, goddamn it. Let's take 1 second. Do a little rest pause. I like that. Let's move on to a straight bar. Oh, sometimes dips don't really do it for me. That was good, but I don't want to do another one. That's sort of my mentality there. Another heavy one. I jerry rigged a plate onto the side of it. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Push downs with the full stack, that's within reason. So if you're actually doing the stack 4 reps and you can do 15, you can do 16, I think it's going to be in your best interest to at least add like a 10, add a slab of 25 on the side of it. Progressive overload is not only applicable to bench and squat, it's fucking everything, man. A big muscle is a strong muscle. I'm not saying hurt yourself by going too heavy, but pushing the envelope as safely as you can, perfect method. Let's lose the plate. Okay. Okay. Let's finish with one more something and then start curls. Let's get some crossbody extensions. Drop set. And I think this will be it. Okay, this might be too heavy. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's get by started. All right. Let's get real with the 70s here. Okay. Oh, perfect starter. Let's do something else. Really change it up for bias today. This will be semi-nasty. So if your set looks anything like this, what I'm about to describe, I think you're good. You know, it gets a little weird with squats and bench. Those should be very slow, let's just say kind of rates of failure. Like you don't want to do nasty reps of incline bench and rip both your pecs off at once. But with movements like lateral raises and curls and pushdowns, if your first 8-ish reps look good, and then as you're approaching failure, instead of just hitting failure like this, not swinging, if instead you use some oomph to get it up there, ride the negative, I think you're fucking fine, man. You know, who cares if somebody thinks you're doing it wrong? If your biceps are bigger than theirs, who gives a fuck? Here's a scenario. Two guys roll up to a fucking fishing spot. One guy has a bobber and a hot dog, and the other guy has a $2,000 tackle box and a $4,000 rod. If the hot dog catches more fish, who's really the better fisherman? You know, results will speak for themselves. Okay. One or two more here. That's a good one. Okay. Let's see some preachers. Let's do a set of the 55s, but tempo reps. So instead of this fucking just one, halfway up, hold it just for a moment. Just stop its momentum and then finish. I promise you're going to like it. Okay, that's good. I'm really not kidding when I say it doesn't take much when I'm dieting down. You know, like let's just call it the my muscular endurance, like the amount of sets I can actually handle in a workout. and be able to recover from. When I'm fully bulked up, I'm going to sit in here for like maybe not twice the time, but sometimes twice as much volume as I'm doing today. Whereas by the time I finish 4 or 5 good sets of pushdowns, 4 or 5 really good sets of curls, that's about as much as I can get. So I gotta make sure those sets count. So right here, even though this will be a bit of a higher rep set, because unfortunately this machine isn't as heavy as I would like, I am gonna make it a good one. Let's walk this thing a little bit just for shits and giggles. One more. And arms are done. Let's push down. There we go. All right, they're getting ready to close, so let's run through these reasonably quick and then get in the car and get something to eat. I'm fucking starving. So you tell me, you be the judge. We're getting somewhere. This little line of shoulder to tricep is getting sharper and sharper the leaner I get. All right, one more and then let's go. Oh, okay. Let's get out of here. All done. All freaking done. Let's go. Kind of spent a little bit too long yapping after my last set and before the pose down. Kind of lost track of time. But it doesn't change the quality of the lift. Man, I can't remember the last time I actually missed. I didn't today, but I'm trying to remember the last time I actually missed the pose down at the end of a lift. It just does not fucking happen. Ugh. Even thinking about it is giving me the fucking heebie-jeebies. But right now, just go home and have some ground beef with some fat-free American cheese slices added on top. I think it's already 9:15, man. I'm ready for bed. Not for real. I'm probably gonna, play on my phone for an egregious amount of time, but I'll do that in bed. So what else is there to discuss? Yeah, not much. When it comes to the dieting part, I don't struggle too much. I'm a little bit more, because there's a range of people. People who have an easy time eating an insane amount of food, and for them weight gain is like it's child's play. And then there's guys who have a very easy time eating like zilch. Their appetite is their baseline appetite is so low, they have no problem sitting, eating like 2,000 calories, even some days like maybe even having 1,000, and they don't even notice, because that's just kind of how they roll, some combination of their, ghrelin receptors and whatever else in their stomach and their pituitary hormones, insert every other mumbo jumbo word under the sun. But yeah, some guys can eat like a horse and some guys eat like a mouse, and you are on that spectrum, right? Do not think that you are not on the spectrum. You're somewhere. Now, I think I'm right in the middle, nothing too crazy, but I probably have an easier time dieting down than I do bulking up. And that has kind of increased over time. Like, for me to get up to like 230-ish, I've been able to do it reasonably simply. But getting past this 240, this 250, 260, and then, hopefully, foreseeably in this next bulk, get into the 270s range. 280 would be nuts, but to be determined. But that's not passive. That is not a I guess I'll just eat whatever I want and I'm just gonna grow like a weed. It is a constant effort, the likes of which I kind of miss. I feel it's kind of aimless a little bit when I'm dieting down, at least in like a lifting context, because I kind of I'm so deep into this shit. The gym doesn't just last the hour and a half or the hour or the 2 hours that I'm in the gym. It extends into my whole day. So when I'm bulking, I'm kind of manually doing it all the time. Like, I like eating treats. It's fun. I like the taste of everything. But when I'm eating a lot of food, that is manually me taking steps towards muscle growth. So it's kind of satisfying in a different way. Whereas when I just kind of sit around, have like a small meal every couple hours, it's not as fulfilling, and it's definitely not as filling. As cool as it is to see yourself lean and getting more shredded in the mirror. At least for now, I definitely feel cooler knowing that I'm growing and just being extra big. I've got OGD, obsessive growth disorder, and I'm not complaining either. I am fine with that. But one more month, and I like posting down all diced and lean. It's cool. It's cool seeing veins pop out where you haven't seen it before. You do actually get a glimpse into where you're, in an actual kind of usable fashion. When you're really lean, that's where your weak points are going to stick out the most. Because if you've got, arms where your triceps are lacking, a little bit of extra body fat around that area can kind of cover up the fact that they're maybe a little bit smaller in comparison to your biceps. So when you're diced, there's no hiding anything. If you've got weak spots, they are out. So it is a bit better to be in a reasonably lean state when you're bulking up, or not when you're bulking up, but at least be reasonably lean every so often, because it can give you a decent gauge of just how big you really are. Because you can have a 300-pound linebacker, but if they were to completely strip all their body fat magically, they'd maybe only be, like a 215-pound dude lean. So, fat to an extent can be a little bit of an illusory weight, where it makes you look a little bit extra big, but it's not real contractile tissue, which we actually care about. It's just literally fluff, So if you're let's just say a perma-bulked character, it may be worth chilling out on your weight gain, dieting down, and seeing yourself lean. Not only because it is going to kind of reset your appetite, give you a little bit of a baseline to start off to bulk up again, but it'll show you like, holy crap, I didn't know my hamstrings were that small. They looked pretty big when I was bulked, but oh my goodness, little stuff like that. So that's where the leaner guy does have an advantage. He can tell a bit easier. He can tell with a bit more of a degree of accuracy just where he needs to work on specifically. So for me, I'm lean enough even when I'm bulked up that I know I need to work on my chest game, my tricep game. Everyone needs bigger legs. That's a rare occurrence that your legs are too big. So for me, this next bulk, what I'm really focusing on, chest, tris, legs. So I'll probably there's going to be a lot of weeks in this next bulk where I don't even train back, and I might not even train biceps. I'll kind of just focus on my weak points so that they're getting 100% stimulation. And in kind of a bro sciencey way, I feel like I've got so much energy and nutrients, macros, whatever, at my body's disposal. So if for like a month, instead of training my full body, all I trained was my legs, my triceps, and my chest, I'm inclined to believe that they're going to make faster progress than if I trained everything individually, And I've heard people argue with me about that. Like, I've said this before, and in the comments, someone literally said, So you're telling me if I only trained my chest for a whole year, my chest would grow more than if I trained my whole body? And I mean, yeah, like there is a systemic muscle growth effect of your training. You know, like if you're doing really heavy compounds and squats, overall you are just gonna grow and get, you know, just be a bigger animal. But I mean, if that weren't the case, then how do you explain, you know, men's physique guys? They're not putting so much emphasis on their legs, and it lets them kind of, what's the word? Maybe supercharge isn't the right word, but let's just say it anyway. It lets them kind of supercharge their growth of their, you know, their torso, their arms, their chest, their back. So if they were to be doing really serious leg training along with their, you know, torso training, their chest, arms, everything, then, you know, their weight gain may be the same, but more of that weight would be distributed to the legs and less would be, you know, packed on up top. So if you've got, I mean, just look at it this way, man. Jay, not to just name drop like a fucking classic legend, but guys like Jay Cutler, I mean, they've taken years off of training their most advanced body parts, you know. So he, I mean, he didn't tell me this, of course. This is just fucking like from classic Jay videos, but his legs were so big he took years off. So if for whatever reason you're naturally gifted to the point where you have a body part that is leaps and bounds of the rest of your build, then chill out on it, man. Work on everything else to bring it up to par, you know. Everything should grow in proportion. I can't do a good Arnold impression, but anybody who's seen Pumping Iron, you know what I'm talking about, right? What's the point of having massive arms if your chest and your back don't match? You know, you're just then you're just that guy from Stardust Crusaders in that stand car, if you know what I'm saying. But either way, home, food. Oh shit. So our hot water, our water heater totally exploded in the house. So there's no hot water. I guess I'm gonna have to do a chilly shower. That kind of sucks. Whatever. Not gonna be a baby about it. Come on. But cardio in the morning, legs tomorrow. Gonna make sure to get a good night's rest, and then we'll see what kind of weight gets lifted and what kind of pump gets achieved. That's always a good achievement to be aiming at, day after day after day. So I'll see you then.